have we just all use our first and last name. Built an enamel out here in 2006. Yeah.
Youngins running gun and just wanna taste, trying to find their place before they go to waste. Seeking for a sense of identity, time to cultivate and be motivated. In the mainstream, the culture is so sedated, trying to coax our babies to get incarcerated. Numbing the brain like it's Novocaine, so we aim for mine, so our culture reigns.
And so we roll over a shaky bridge, callbacks breaking in place and feet in spaces that they never meant to be. I never meant to be a cause of heartache and still wrestle inside is ill. Can't find time to chill, just spill rhymes to kill fear instilled here. We still here like earth and the people here first. These hurts are reversed to find.
Gateways is an opportunity for young men to have somebody believe in them and support them to do the best they can with all of their talents and abilities that they don't know that they have.
Every program that we have and everything that we do is given to us by the youth and their ideas and their needs.
There's the culture groups, the college class, which is the class that we're in, and we do a diversity workshop in a college class while we're in there. And then there's also the Challenge Partner program, which goes one-on-one and does, academic, educational kind of tutoring and mentoring.
We go in and we check in and we work with security to be sure that we don't have any contraband, and we sign in and we are escorted to the rooms where we'll work, and we set up the rooms for the workshops, and then we shake hands the first thing that we do when we get into the room. There we start some of the activities and do the workshops that students themselves have come up with. Then after that we have the college class, and we say our goodbyes and everyone has to leave.
Cultural identity is the basis for everything. If you know who you are, if you understand, and so many of the young people, particularly from minority groups, have been more or less taught either by society or by their own families that maybe their culture isn't as good as somebody else's. That their culture is made up of people who are losers. And if you grow up with feeling like your culture is a loser society rather than a winner society, it gives you a lot of misconceptions and leads to a lot of problems.
And the cultural groups are the place where they go and
it's just them.
Yeah, they check in with each other, they're supportive of each other, they've agreed to drop all their affiliations to work together. They're in control.
It's everybody getting together, Crips and Bloods, shaking hands, sitting in one room, not fighting. So it's serving its purpose here by diversifying and breaking down those small little barriers that they have and kind of opening their minds up to the bigger picture of that we have something in common.
And that's what I like the culture groups mainly about, and it gives you a chance to see all your brothers.
Really helped our campus out with dealing with the gang issues, with reducing aggression. By far, it has definitely done that. Would you say so? Yeah. As in, especially with our actual youth that we're working under right now, just specifically African American males, African American violence one-on-one has drastically reduced. Drastically reduced the racial violence, as in I'm going to beat this kid up because he's this and this and this. That's drastically been almost just eliminated almost. You know what I'm saying? That is due to this program and these kids being able to come together and meet and exchange stories and share information and self-educate.
is about finding from the people their strengths and their information and putting it together in a way that can support change, social change, personal change in the community. And that's why Gateways has those kinds of beliefs.
Those means it's very non-hierarchical, very egalitarian. It reinforces positive concepts of identity. What else?
You're using the knowledge that the community has within its own community.
Mm-hmm. It's not sit back in this classroom and read a book and try to memorize and pass the test. You know, we're going to sit down and talk about this emotion-wise. We're going to talk about, just break it down to a way that everybody can grasp it.
An environment where all these guys have are their peers. The idea of learning popular education and bringing peers in that are coming from privilege of being able to attend a college. Higher education is a privilege, and mixing those two together in a room and sharing knowledge is a far better introduction to higher education and higher learning than sitting in the lecture hall with 500 people and having a professor not even know your name.
I don't have much contact with college students or anyone in school. Coming out of the hood in the ghetto is, nobody expects you to go to college. Nobody expects you to live past 18. And I'm over 18, working on my first 2 credits for my AA, and I beat anybody's opinion of me.
Basically, this program kind of gave me the idea of college when it was probably the furthest thing away from my mind at the time before then. So now I'll say that's how it's helped me. You know what I mean?
One of the important things to realize is the nature of life inside of the institutions, in which everything that students do is controlled, accounted for, and subject to rules and regulations. And so these are institutions, prisons really, that have high schools inside of them. And so they're running off of these 2 administrations, and students are constantly being monitored. They have to be let in and let out of their room by electronic locks. They have to be let in and let out of their living units, cottages, cell blocks by electronic lock. They have to be escorted everywhere on campus, and they have to behave in a particular kind of way. So I think it's really important to have a place in which students can remember what it means to not have the constant eye of security, the constant eye of regulation, and the constant eye of having your behavior monitored. So I think it's really, really crucial for us to create an atmosphere in which humanity, human dignity can come alive again.
Green Hill and Maple Lane. You guys know what it is. Keep your head up. It's easy for me to say, but even though you're incarcerated, they can never incarcerate your mind. Gateways. Anybody out there that strives to make a difference, I truly admire you to the utmost. What we need is people that actually get involved. They can educate, get their hands dirty, get in the institute and make a difference from the inside out. That's what we need to fight this war. And believe me, it's killing us. 2005.
The most important thing that we do is shake those kids' hands every time we come into that room, acknowledge them as people, and give them respect.